Chicago on a Monday night, hanging out, trying to make some cash, but hanging out, orchestrating things with people, networking, building rapport with people, great rapport, I may add. And what about you tonight here in Chicago? I don't know, it's like 70 degrees right now. We had a lot of wind earlier. I was going to do a live earlier, but we had a lot of wind, which stopped me from doing the live earlier. I could have did it inside, but with all of this great weather, who wants to be inside doing a live video? I'm just saying. Some people prefer that. If they got a background, if they don't feel like going outside, maybe they're sick, maybe they're house sitting their children, or maybe they're just house sitting their house. How about that? But either way, I hope you all have been enjoying those episodes of We Got That Smoke with none other than Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm sure that he has been dropping some mad science for you all, some brain food, some food for thought for the day, giving you something critically to think about and where your future lies. Some people feel that they don't have a future, like these young black men that we always talk about, that we always try to talk to. But sometimes trying to talk to these young men will get your electricity cut off. They will disconnect you for giving them some wisdom, for giving them some knowledge, for giving them some information that could possibly save their life. And most of them don't want it. Even though they know that they're out here doing wrong, they still decide to do what they're doing. And this is why when I turn on the television, or every time I open a newspaper, yes, I still read newspapers, or I open up a feed that's in, open up a story that's in my feed. I'm sorry about that. And if it's about robbery, if it's about carjacking, the majority of the time, I see young black men here in the city of Chicago, damaged mentally, damaged spiritually, damaged morally. Not to mention the fact that many of them don't have guidance, and the guidance that does come to them, that is a way of correcting their behavior so that they can move forward and go in a vertical manner, limit. No, they want to stay at the bottom of the ocean where the bottom feeders are at. They want to hang out in the alley with the rats. That's what I noticed. And that's just not here in Chicago. That's in Wisconsin. Yeah, like Milwaukee. Yeah, the small Chicago. I'm telling you, go like 90 miles down the road from Chicago going west and you're running to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And there you would find young black men in horrible conditions. Just like you would find most young black men that's in inner city areas. Broken, frustrated, tired of the situation that they're in. Tired of not being able to fully evolve. Not being able to fully express or understand or know. How about that? Many of them don't know their talents. We all have gifts. Everybody can't teach. Everybody can't preach. Everybody can't play basketball. Everybody can't play football. But everybody here on this planet has a gift that the Creator gave them while they were in the womb of their mother. That's 100. And for everybody that's out there in the chat room, I want to say thank you all for being here in the chat room, because you could have been doing something else with someone else on this fantastic sucker-free Monday, NIGHT. So I tip my hat to you, all of you. I'm going to go down the list here if I can here. Scrap Trap, Nathan, Cristano, Nathan, the Dude X, you're only 9. Okay, Nathan. No Taker, For all of you that's out there, once again, I tip my hat to you for being here. Because you could have been somewhere else. But you know what? T.D. Jakes could have been somewhere else too. But he might be going somewhere else, like to jail. T.D. Jakes is stepping down from the Potter House, the mega church in Texas. Why is T.D. Jakes stepping down, you all? Huh? Is it the Puffy trial that's coming up? Is it because he's tired of preaching God's word? Is it that he's tired of being on stage in the pulpit, that big old stage that he got? Could it be, something else? But if you have been keeping up like most people in the world have been keeping up on T.D. Jakes, many of us have come to the conclusion that he is stepping down because of the trial that is coming up. Yeah, P. Diddy. You know he got caught on those videos, Mr. Power Bottom. And from the word that's on the street, he was swallowing up someone's gallows, okay? And not the wine. Yeah. Now, this man is a millionaire. Supposed to be a preacher of God. But God preaches against homosexuality. And T.D. Jakes have participated in homosexuality. His flock is in danger. In fact about it, he gave the ministry over to his daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this man owned businesses across the U.S. And makes over $30 million a year. Over $30 million a year. So he's not broke. And it was God's word that helped him get to where he's at today. Now, if you're a homosexual, that's on you. I have nothing against you. Just don't bring that over here. Okay, T.D. Jakes. Just don't bring that over here, T.D. Jakes. We like women over here. We like the box, not the garbage can, T.D. Jakes. Damn. Now I understand that this is not the first time that this has happened. It seems to be happening a lot with all of these preachers of God, with all of these fathers of the church. Yeah. Yeah. Look at all of the lawsuits that the Catholic Archdiocese has settled out of court. I'm just saying. Don't you all remember Bishop Eddie Long? Yeah. Sleeping with that young man in that church. Finished his career as a preacher, just like T.D. Jakes is cooked. T.D. Jakes is cooked. His preaching career is over. Now, you may have some followers that straggle on and that will possibly still support the man, but he don't need followers. He's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, with all of that God money that he has gotten, not only from the people of the church, but from the government. All of that 501c3 money status to keep you asleep, to keep you dumb, blind, and deaf. Yeah. In fact about it, you have many that say that's what the church does to some people. But others say that it has helped evolve their lives into a better life. But I tell you this, whatever makes your float boats, whatever makes your boat floats, and whatever makes you into a better young man or young woman, who am I to say anything against it? It's for your upliftment, and anything that's for your upliftment, for your journey on a vertical path, I commend you and say stay with it. If it helps you become a better human being. If it helps you to become a member, a pillar in the community, even in the neighborhood, if it makes you a pillar in the neighborhood, because many black folks across America live in the hood. Don't you remember back in the day when you had all of the elders that stayed on the block? You knew them, you knew their family knew yours, and everybody knew grandma on the block, everybody knew grandpa on the block. But it's not safe outside for grandma and grandpa. And that's because of us. That's because we have no conflict resolution skills. I don't understand, I don't know how many times I've mentioned that. I do understand why we don't have conflict resolution skills. However, it should be a priority for young black men and young black women to have or to develop, even adults, because adults don't even have conflict resolution skills. That's where they're out here stabbing people to death. Just like you got this 3-year-old girl that was down there in Miami, Florida, Dade County. Here it is. Her mother was stabbed to death by her ex-boyfriend right in front of her face. And then the ex-boyfriend tells the daughter that she was hit in the head and she's taking a nap. But when she gets out the car, the 3-year-old girl, she's covered in blood. Her clothes and her face are covered with dried blood as she walks around the apartment complex, because this took place right near where she abides, live, reside at. However, they say that they found the mother wrapped up in blankets in her car in the passenger seat. So I wonder if the ex-boyfriend asked her if he could drive the car versus her driving. I know that he didn't, well, I don't know, but I don't think that a smart person who just stabbed someone to death from the passenger seat would move them over from the driver's seat to the passenger seat. I mean, it's just my logic thinking. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who thinks like that. So needless to say, they apprehended him. She's 24 years old and he was 29 years old. Yeah. Now their names. Now the female, she has a 4-part name. Yeah. Camilla Garcia something. Okay. And the young man name is Joy Nathan, something like that. But it took place in Miami. Yeah, he has 3-part name too. Joy blank Nathan. And her name is Camilla Garcia something. 2 more names to add to that. I'm sorry. Sometimes we do forget things. I do have a computer, but sometimes I forget things like everybody else. So if you want to know about that story and that 3-year-old girl, and that's tragic for her. And this is not the only violent act that has taken place with ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends. Hell, you have people here in Chicago shooting and killing their ex-mates, whether it be male or female. Don't you all remember that story that took place in New York City about 1.5 years ago when the cop caught her chick with another chick? Finished her career. Finished her career over coochie. Over coochie. Damn. Is it that serious out here? Now I remember back in the day, you know, some men in the neighborhood and in other communities had, you know, things that you don't do as a man. You don't mess with a man's wife or his lady. You don't mess with his car, and you don't mess with his children. But people have been violating number one, which is messing with somebody else's coochie or somebody else's pencil stick or sausage stick, whatever you want to call it. Hey, it can be your disco wand. I'm just saying. It's too many women out here, if you are a man, to be messing with another man's wife. It's too many women out here. That's why some of them have went to the other side of the tracks. That's what they say. I'm just saying. If I'm not mistaken, the last time that I did a census in regards to men and women, it was over 10 women to 1 man. However, all of those 10 women or over 10 women for every man, all of them are not good women. I'm just saying. So maybe you want to cut that in half. Or maybe 2 out of, I'm just saying. It's a lot of women out here. But so is a lot of disease. Gonorrhea is on the rise. Syphilis is on the rise. Sexual infections is on the rise. You never know when you want to get, when you're going to get one of those creamy puffs, that's splurging, nasty fluids everywhere. You don't know. And most people don't care until they get up in there and find out that it's too late because they didn't use any protection. And some of us are living like savages out here. Just take anything. Oh, she got some big booty. Oh, she got some big breasts. Oh, she got some big legs, and I would love to, I can imagine myself up in between that. But could you have imagined catching that package that you can't get rid of? I'm just saying. So you all think about that the next time that you want to indulge into a woman's panties. You don't know what she got inside of her panties. I'm just saying. And most of them won't tell you. Now, I have found out that some women back in the day, not now, but back in the day, we used to talk to women, run up on them, catch them. And some of them would tell you that they had a venereal disease just to get you out their face. But some of them had that package too. So, it's got to take a chance, 50-50. I mean, if you want to be real cautious about the situation before you have sexual contact with the person whom you're desiring to have it with, why don't you both go get checked out by the doctor to make sure that both of you all come back with negative test results, okay? And then you can go further into doing what it is that you want to do, seeking your sexual pleasures or your desires. I mean, nowadays it only makes sense. It only makes sense, if you got some health insurance, that Obamacare, you better use it or you're gonna lose it. Yeah, lose all of your health benefits for a minute, if it's curable, you know what I'm saying? When you get the silver bullet in the back of that cheek of yours, oh, y'all know what I'm talking about out there. I'm just saying. So don't say it's just me, that think that way or know things like this. And no, you don't have to have had contact with someone or have had a personal experience. Some people have. Some people haven't. Sometimes you learn from other people's mistakes. And that's where wisdom comes in. I'm just saying. Now, what's all of this ruckus that I hear about Deion Sanders, his son, Shadur Sanders, and his son, Shiloh? Now, this is not in the title because it couldn't fit, okay? So I'm just popping it out, okay? Yeah, what's this mess with Deion Sanders' son, Shadur? Many people say that he didn't get drafted right away because of his attitude. Attitude sometimes controls your altitude, okay? Sometimes your attitude controls your altitude. And seeing that his father is a Hall of Famer And now it's coaching in Colorado. Dallas Cowboys star, you know. But with that comes attitude. His dad, you know, is a finesseful dude, okay, and high style and high profile, and that's Dion. However, some of that may have rubbed off on his son, not to mention the fact that he was the agent of Shedeur, talking about how certain teams that he wasn't going to play for, like he's not going to even talk to them. My thing is this: if all of these black people here in America is having a problem with what happened to that man, why don't black people just create their own NFL? It don't have to be the NFL. It can be their own football league. You know, back in the day, we had our own black baseball league. And besides, right? And besides, what is Shedeur Sanders going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. But you sit out here and y'all have a problem with him being drafted or not drafted. Who cares? Who cares? Do you really care? For what? What good is him being drafted going to do you? What good is that going to do in your household? What good is that going to do in your pockets? What, to see him play? Well, had he not been drafted and you didn't catch him in college, guess what? You wouldn't have seen him play no more, no way. Right? And what about the other brother, Shiloh? Didn't Shiloh just fire his father, Dion, as his agent? His son, the other son, yeah, Shedeur's brother, just fired his own dad. And when they got another agent, Shiloh say he's doing his own thing after experiencing visually at what happened to his brother while his father was his agent. This is what I'm talking about. Learning from other people's mistakes. So Shiloh may be a smart one there, okay? Now, I think that the NFL did that to bring him down a notch or two so that he can possibly think, clear his head. When you got the president of the United States and politicians talking about y'all need to draft that man, are you serious? Politicians into sports? Of course they are. They spend lots of money gambling. I'm just saying. And Donald Trump can't tell me that he's not a gambler. You can't tell me that. In fact, about it, many people say that Donald Trump is a businessman. But I say, from just of that which I've read about him, from the news and social media, just like many of you, I say that he's a con man versus a businessman. I'm just saying, I think he's a con man versus a businessman, just like most politicians are. Con people. And then they walk away. They don't run away. They walk away even after they don't come through, meaning that they don't fill the bag of promises that they promised you before they was elected. They don't fill the bag up, and they don't care if they don't give you or deliver that which they say that they was going to deliver you in the bag, because you can't do nothing to them. They walk away with all of the goodies and shattered dreams, shattered promises, shattered careers. That's what politicians do. That's what politicians do. Now, if they don't do that, let me know when it has been otherwise. Because we know that this system is built on hypocrisy. The whole system is built on hypocrisy. Donald Trump wants to overhaul the system. Why did he not overhaul it for the betterment of the American people? You see, why did not Donald Trump rehaul the whole American system, since he's dismantling it anyway? Why did he do it for the benefit of the people, versus the benefit for billionaires. I'm just saying. All of the billionaires is taking everything from us. And I'm talking about, yeah, all of the workers, the worker bees of America. It's not looking good for worker bees. So many of us, you know, have to find some type of way to regenerate the income that we are losing or will lose. Look at the places that are closing across America. Hell, even Walmart stores across America is closing. In fact, if I remember correctly, I'll give you a few. Iowa, Ohio, Wisconsin, Colorado, California. Some Walmarts are closing across America. Not to mention the fact that Walmart just made a $6 billion investment to counteract Costco. And according to the reports, you have a lot of Walmart's shelves that are empty across America. But they say that prices are going to get higher in Walmart versus rolling back the digits. They're going to roll up the digits. That's according to the reports. That's just not me pulling anything out of my backside, okay? Yeah, people are losing jobs every day. Missing money. Can't pay this, can't pay that. Have to downsize. And speaking of having lower income or no income at all, I wish that I was in Oak Park when the Brink truck dropped $300 worth of money in bags out of the back door of the Brink truck in Oak Park. People walked away crazy. They thought it was Christmas already. Christmas in April. Think about that. Christmas in April. $300,000. I know somebody getting fired. But yeah, I wish I was one of those people that was on the street collecting that money. And no one has been caught or apprehended for taking the money that was laying in the street as a Christmas gift. If you was around, you got it. If you wasn't around, you didn't get any. But I know that it hurts your heart that you wasn't around, because I'm one of those people whose heart was broken. And I be everywhere. But I wasn't in Oak Park that day that the Brink truck dropped $300,000 in the street. How often does that happen? I'm just saying. Free money. And everybody needs money. Some people walking around here with more than $1,000 in their bank account today. I'm just saying, you know. And if you, like I said, if you're one of those people that's struggling out there, you know, those street ninjas, the street ninjas, you know, pull up your pants, man. Pull up your pants, street ninjas. I'm tired of seeing grown men, not just 21, 22, 17, 18. No, I'm talking about men in their late 20s, early 30s, even 40s, walking around with their pants sagging like they got a diaper full of feces. It burns me up. It burns me up. I had made a promo a couple of months ago, and in that promo, you know, it was about 1.5 minutes long, but in that promo, it had this young black man inside of a restaurant with a little white boy and the little white boy's father. And in the words that is in the sign that the little boy is speaking to the young black man, the words were, "I learned to pull my pants up at 2 years old." Whew. But I'm telling you, nowadays, if you tell a young black man to pull up his pants, that's a fight. That's a right-away fight. That's an argument that possibly could ensue to you getting your TVs cut off. That's right. What's up, Haas? Yeah. You would get your electricity cut off. They would disconnect you and argue with you. and want to beat you down to a pulp, put you in the grave for giving them some great advice about pulling up their pants. That's sad, but true. But the kicker is this. Some of them have belts on. I don't understand that. Do you understand that there? Because I don't understand that there. I'm just saying. And who's that there out there? Austin Burrell. Hi. What city or state you from? I'm from the big windy city of gangsters, Chirac. The city of cancer. The city of cancer. People are dying left and right here. Left and right. And Memphis is not too far behind. I'm just saying. So if you all like to go south in the land, you know, on that I-55 or I-57 route, going down to Arkansas, Memphis, and all of that good stuff, be careful when you get there. Be careful when you get there. Austin Burrell, remember me? God bless you, dude. Hey, I want to thank you, Austin Burrell, for tuning in, stopping by to see what we have to say, because you could have been somewhere else, doing something else, with someone else. So we thank you for your participation in this live chat. And by the way, it's my time. And I want to thank everybody that's out there. I got a couple of things to do. Like I said, I'm networking, trying to orchestrate some things so that we can develop something to get a bag. You understand? All right, you all, it's your host with the most, MO on THEMOSHOW Chicago, where the execution of knowledge is POWER. And on your way out the door, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, that notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when I upload videos on YOUTUBE. Also, press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come to contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your CONVERSATION. And by the way, if you're into traveling, if you're into getting more brain food on your head, if you're into audiobooks, go over to my other channel, MOPOWERZ, here on YOUTUBE. And we have the likes of Black Man of the Nile and his family, As a Man Thinketh, The Destruction of Black Civilization, The Fall of America, The Message to the Black Man of America, The Demonology of King James, The Chronological Order from Alchemy to Wicca, From Babylon to Timbuktu, and so much more. And that's just on the uploads. Make sure you go to the live section of that channel as well and check out the information that we have left for you. We're sure that there's something over there that will resonate within you, hoping to develop you into a higher being, okay? And if you're into Chicago old school, hip-hop, spoken word, gangster rap, all of that good stuff, underground music, Chicago street clips, independent movies, go over to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE, and do the same. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for viewing, you all. Peace out and never give up on your DREAMS.